Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And man, oh man, we got a show here for you guys today. We're going to be talking about them damn Lakers. So before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and one Anthony Davis. Now, as y'all know, the Lakers are in a very, very difficult situation right now because they're trying their best to make it into the play-in or the playoffs as a whole. And as y'all know, the Lakers have one of the easiest schedules towards the final stretch of the season. And every game for this team absolutely matters. 2 games ago, they did something that to me to this day is absolutely inexplicable, where they decided, I'm hearing according to reports, that the team elected to sit down Anthony Davis in that game, a critical game that they needed to get against the Houston Rockets. The team elected to sit him down, and ultimately they ended up dropping a game that they had no business. They just couldn't afford to lose that game to the Houston Rockets, because the game prior they had lost that to the New York Knicks, a tough New York Knicks, the defensive-minded team that had struggled, especially I'm talking about Julius Randle against the Clippers, a game prior. They ended up losing that game, and a lot of people were just totally besides themselves. A lot of people were saying, you know, what's going on with the Lakers? They didn't understand that decision. Obviously, we understand now that it's an organizational decision that they took, that they said that, hey, listen, they decided that this guy needed rest. Some people were upset with Anthony Davis, saying, oh, why couldn't Anthony Davis demand that he play that game? Why the Lakers, why couldn't he tell them there's no way, Jose, man, I'm going to play that game, blah, 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 blah. So there was that conversation surrounding the team after that. After that situation happened there. Then yesterday, they were playing another game that they needed to win against the Dallas Mavericks, who were without Luka Doncic, but we then found out later on that Kyrie Irving was going to be available. And just from watching the highlights, I didn't watch the game, but just from watching the highlights, it was a pretty contested game, and it looked like the Lakers had that team beat all the way towards the end of the game, where they started making some boneheaded plays. And then ultimately, I believe Maxi Kleber somehow got open in the corner and was able to hit a game-winning three-point shot while being down 2 points, and ended up giving the Mavs a victory of 111 to 110 points in that game. And it was a very, very heartbreaking loss in that game. Kyrie Irving was pretty big for the Mavs. He scored 38 points, shot 100% from the free throw line, shot 56.6% from the three-point line, and 60% from the field, going 14 out of 23 from the field. So he was he had a very, very efficient game. On the other hand, if we look at Anthony Davis, who's their best player, the Lakers, to be fair, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had 7 players in double figures. So it wasn't like as if the team didn't play well as a whole. They had 7 players in double figures, and Anthony Davis led the way with 26 points in that game. He only had 2 turnovers. He had 3 assists, 10 rebounds, so a 26-point double-double. Shot 72% from the free throw line, and shot 64% from from the field. Austin Reeves also chipped in 16, while Dennis Schroeder chipped in 15 points to go with D'Angelo Russell's 11 points. But after the game, Laker fans understandably were very, very frustrated at the outcome, because now their team is still the number 10th seed in the Western Conference, and they're now 5-5 out of their last game, losing 2 in a row, and that was a game that they absolutely needed to have. And I came across this article here from fadeawayworld.net where Laker fans were absolutely just going off. But before we get into that, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's a sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me just get into some of the things that the Lakers fans were saying here. They went off. Laker fans are pissed after the loss to the Mavericks. The Anthony Davis experience needs to be over. One person said, the Anthony Davis experience needs to be over. Another person said, AD needs to be locked in the gym until he makes 100 free throws in a row. Embarrassing, he misses clutch free throws all the time on top of fouling that 3-point shot. This is on him. A few other people said AD when it matters. Another person said trade fraud Davis. Bunch of people letting their feelings known about that loss, and a lot of people are really disappointed that the Lakers dropped that game. So here are my thoughts on this entire issue here. Funny enough, before that game, we actually put up a poll on our channel where we asked the audience the following question. The question was simply this: if the Lakers miss the playoffs, what should they do? We gave the audience 4 options. The first option was move AD. Second option was move LeBron. Third option was move both AD and LeBron. And the fourth option was do nothing. 90% of the people said move Anthony Davis. 13% of the people said move LeBron. 46% of the 16,300 voters said move both AD and LeBron. And the one that just totally confounds me is the one where 22% of the people said do absolutely nothing. It is clear to see, at least from this very small sample size, that roughly 50% of the people, or no, as a matter of fact, I would say about 60 to 70% of the people want the Lakers to do something. They either want them to move LeBron, they either want them to move AD, but they want something to happen. I'm surprised that a lot of these people are saying, what is it, do nothing? Now, some of these people that are probably saying do nothing, I read some of their comments and they're like, you know what, let's do nothing. They have a good team. Let's try to run it back for another season. Well, here's the challenge with that. The challenge with that is simply this. You can run it back next year. You can, in fact, have a better record. But some of those underlying issues will still remain. And one of the biggest ones is health and age. LeBron is going to be 1 year older. Anthony Davis is going to be 1 year older, which means that the likelihood of him being injured, is probably going to go up even more. So there's always the risk of him being injured. That's the problem. And of course, LeBron is going to be an older player. So to me, I'm very surprised that some of these Laker fans are saying do nothing. Now, it could also be true that some of those people are not Laker fans and they just want them to stand back and watch them continue to flounder and go through all of, continue to face the challenges that they're facing. But this was definitely a game that the Lakers needed to win. It was definitely a game that the Lakers needed to win. And now they have a record of 34-37, right? In the loss column. So right now, they're in the 10th spot, right? They're in the 10th spot, and they're going to really need to start getting some wins in order to climb in the standings, right? And if I look at their upcoming schedule, they're going to be playing against the Orlando Magic, the Phoenix Suns, the Oklahoma City Thunder. These are all teams that have better records than them. I believe the Chicago Bulls have a better record than them. They're playing them twice. The Minnesota Timberwolves have a better record than them. They're going to get another crack at the Rockets. Of course, they have the Utah Jazz, who I believe are behind them in the standings. They have the Clippers, who are ahead of them. They have the Suns and they have the Jazz. If we look at some of those teams, the Suns have a winning record. The Minnesota Timberwolves are basically a 500 team. The Oklahoma City Thunder are below 500 team, but so are the Lakers. And then if you look at some of the teams that they're going to be playing in the Eastern Conference, the Bulls, they're going to be there. They have a better record than the Bulls, so they should be able to win that game against the Chicago Bulls. I don't see them beating the Clippers. So the Lakers need to start winning some games. And of course, if you look at the Orlando Magic, okay, they also have the Orlando Magic that they can possibly beat. So they need to start getting some wins. But in addition to them getting some wins, they're going to actually have to hope to some teams lose. So to me, the situation is a mess, but we have to wait and see how all of this pans out. So the question is simply this: what do you think the Lakers should do moving forward? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show.